Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in with us this evening for our Soulfire Sunday featuring Paulie O'Byrne and Scott Milne. Paulie's the founder of 1 in 5. You can find a link to his site after this video. We'll post it. Scott is an IFBB Pro, and I will post the link to his page below this video after the podcast as well, so you can link up with them at any time. What we're doing this evening, if you're new to watching us on Sundays, we follow a cognitive behavioral therapy program with Lucinda Bassett from the Midwest Center. And this is about a 15-week program all about trying to attack anxiety and depression. And right now we are on session 6. We've done a few extra weeks where we've just kind of talked and introduced what we're doing. But this week is it's not about that. It's about, I guess it's actually session 7 we're on this week. Yeah. So it's assertive behavior. Speak confidently to gain respect. Yeah. And I think this is a good one for all of us because we've all kind of talked about the anger problems that we've sometimes had and how that's worked out for us. Whereas if we maybe had modified our behavior to doing approaching the situation with a little more assertiveness and confidence that way rather than lashing out and getting overreactive, we may have had a better result.
But mine's not lashing out and overreactive though. Mine's like just staying quiet and internalizing.
Yeah.
Which is the same. It's worse. I don't know if it's worse. But.
Well, you're right. You have the different kind of anger where you lash out and basically overreact in someone's face, which is kind of I think you and me more or less.
We're real similar. To
yeah. And then Scott, you're the kind of person who you try to be nice and be quiet at the time.
You beat yourself up.
Yeah, and so you're kind of like. You keep it deep down, but then you've also said at times, like when that comes up, it comes up explosively at times, right? Yep. Yeah, so it's still, even if you're quiet in one sense, eventually that has to come up in some way, right? So the assertive behavior is a way to sort of get your point across, explain how you feel, but you're not lashing out and you're not mad at yourself and internalizing, like, why didn't I say that? Why didn't I stick up for myself? Yeah. So let's go through what it is. Assertive behavior is not aggressive behavior. The definition of assertive behavior is persistently positive and confident, and the definition of aggressive behavior is bold and quarrelsome. I think we've probably taken the bold and quarrelsome approach many times.
Many times, for sure, yes.
Quarrelsome meaning like kind of looking for a fight or just being confrontational, I guess. So tell me...
Which is odd, because like for me, I don't like confrontation, but I'll be like, if I feel threatened or if I feel like someone's going to abandon me, I'll be the first person to sabotage it.
Right.
Like that's just a defense mechanism for me, maybe, where I should maybe be assertive in saying my feelings,
right.
And not just reacting, like respond with, respect and using proper language, not calling people fucking idiots.
Yeah, I know.
It's hard.
It is hard.
So hard.
It is really hard.
My mouth is my worst weapon.
Yeah,
that
mine
really
too.
is.
Yeah.
Mine too. I relate. Have you ever had any situations where, like, right off the top of your head, you reacted poorly?
No, because mine's so much internal.
Right. Yeah. So
I want to say it, and then I walk away and I just say all the stuff in my head. And like, man, next time,
Right. Well,
but then I just beat myself up. I don't know what's worse or not.
Well, you know what? At least you have the tools to stop and take that 10 seconds that we talked about last week. If you didn't see the one on anger, that's the 2 weeks ago. You can find that on our YouTube channel or on our Facebook live feed. But I would say that like you're kind of a step ahead because I sometimes it's like a reaction with the anger, and if you try to stop and just breathe for a minute, you're doing that. But then the thing is that you want to be able to take that breather and then sort of calm down for a minute and then express the way that you feel. But you're not expressing that, you're just walking away, beating yourself up for not expressing that, right?
But if it's wish that I had. Like I had a situation last week, I think it was, like something happened to me like a few months ago.
Yeah.
And I had all these things in my head that like I wanted to say to this person and this and that. And then what do you know? Like I walk into this Subway shop and like there was another person in there. They went into the bathroom and when they came out, like whatever, we're both wearing like construction stuff, right?
Right.
So I was just like, hey, how's it going? And then like he shook his hand. He's like, hey, Scott, how's it going? Shook my hand. And like as soon as I shook his hand, I registered who it was. I'm like, fuck. All these things I want to say to you, and I was just nice to him, right? And we walked away, and I'm like, God damn it, I want to smash this guy through the windshield.
You don't like this guy.
I was going to follow him up to the truck, but I didn't.
Handshake's better. Handshake's so much better.
It is kind of. That's kind of, even though it's eating.
That's assertive.
Yeah, you're right.
It is, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't realize who it was until after. I was just being friendly, right?
Maybe that,
hey,
whatever
how's
you
it
have
going? Shake
for-
your hand, and
yeah.
then I registered who it was, and I'm like, God damn it.
But you know what?
All these things I want to say to this
Maybe it's meant to be, right? Maybe it's meant
Exactly.
to shake your hand and you to recognize them.
Mm-hmm.
I think for like assertiveness, it's like a lot easier said than done.
It is.
It's so tough to not react when you're offended.
Yeah.
You know, and like not when you're offended, it's like a gut reaction. You can't say, okay, I'm going to take 10 seconds. I'm going to be assertive here.
Yeah.
You know, and being assertive, I think, is a learned practice that we have to learn on a daily basis. Make it practice.
It's something that we have to practice. And the
Yeah.
problem that we're seeing now is that everybody's getting offended so easily and taking everything so personally.
Yeah.
They don't think before they, not necessarily before they even talk now, it's before they type.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
people
I was going
are
to say they hide behind their phone.
this is the screen and they
Keyboard warriors, right?
yeah.
Social media, and
Yeah.
then they blast somebody or they belt it out on social media.
Yeah. So let's kind of
But you're afraid
say
to say it to your face.
absolutely. Let's say because you have the safety behind the screen now.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's other ways to do it. You don't have to write exactly how you feel in that moment.
No.
These tools will still work for anyone that's a blogger or wants to comment.
100%, yeah.
Take the 10 seconds, maybe even leave it if it bothers you a lot. Take 24 hours.
I like the 24-hour rule.
Yeah, and then see if it still bothers you the next day. It could just be a temporary mood. I know that when I'm tired and when I'm hungry,
Yeah.
I'm way easier to kind of get me to fly off the
Yeah.
handle.
Especially when
For sure.
Yeah, sure, when I'm hangry. Well, let's go over, for anyone that doesn't know what assertive behavior really is, it's simply stating how you feel about certain things with confidence and standing up for yourself. By being aggressive, you're adapting a more hostile, angry attitude toward the person or the subject. When being assertive, we need to speak confidently and watch our maybes and our ahs and our buts. Those take away our power. So,
I think but is the biggest like restriction in any argument.
Yeah.
You know, like someone can say, "Oh, you've done a great job, but you didn't do that."
Yeah.
You know, and that's like, oh shit. You know, like it's like, oh, you boosted me up, and you're just gonna like shoot me down now. Like I think but's the worst.
But would you rather that person come to you without giving you a compliment, and then like would you rather just say, "Well, you sucked at doing this," before saying what you did right?
I would maybe say, if I was in their shoes, if I had experience in that, here's how to do it maybe better. Here's some things that I've done in the same situation that's maybe worked better. And if I didn't have experience in that, I wouldn't say anything.
Right.
I just would keep my mouth shut because I don't think that the world needs to, like every single person in the world needs to know my opinion on what's wrong with them.
Right. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. What do you think, Scott? Yeah, you agree with that? When you want to be assertive, keep it short and sweet and use a lot of I messages. So, this is how I feel about this. This is what I'm experiencing. Don't blame people. This is how you made me feel. You did this. Yeah. And that's one of those things where it's tough too, right? Because it's one of those, well, I feel like you've done this, but sometimes you want to be like, this is your fault.
Yeah.
You fucking did this.
I remember seeing a Louis C.K. thing, and he said, you may not think that you've hurt me, but you don't get to choose if that hurts me.
Right.
You know? So, like, you can say whatever you want, ultimately, to someone.
Yeah.
And if they're not, like, if they choose to let that hurt them, then that's on them. That's
Right.
not on the person delivering it. It's like that. Have you ever read Four Agreements? The Four Agreements book? It's like, don't take anything personally.
Yeah.
Nothing. Don't
Yeah.
take anything personally.
Right.
I think that works, right? I think that is something that, I mean, that's a daily practice, though.
It is a daily
That's
practice.
a daily practice.
This whole, I mean, well, all the stuff that we're doing is going to take time to implement, right?
Yeah,
so
for sure.
That's one thing we really want to get through to people is that even though we sort of know what's going on, we've listened to the audio, we've done the workbook, it's still going to be a practice every day.
Oh, I think it's a lifestyle. We got to get into a lifestyle. I think
Absolutely.
that's recovery, right? Like for me, I live I recover out loud.
Yeah.
I think that's a lifestyle that I've chosen, and I think ultimately I've been successful by being sober and in recovery opposed to the alternative, right? I don't think I was too successful living in my car, banging needles in my arm, right?
Yeah, the alternative was probably
It was
not
rough.
the best.
It was tough, right?
Yeah. And there's some people right now that are probably in that situation, and hopefully one day they'll be where you are.
Yeah,
doing the
I
same
mean,
thing.
it's possible, right? And I think even just with us, like, we're just a representation that you can do something. Like,
100%. That's all we are.
You can get through something. And that's
Yeah.
like, it's not about my story, your story, Scott's story.
Yeah.
It's about, we're a representation that you can get through shit. And,
Yeah.
and you can live a successful life afterwards through whatever the shit is that you've been through. You can, if you choose to,
Yep.
live a successful life, right? And I think for us, we just work hard, right? We work
Yeah.
hard at making sure that recovery is number one in our lives, and I think we're very assertive with our recovery.
I think so
You know?
too, and I think the nice thing is that none of us are anyone special per se. I mean, we all have unique qualities and unique skills,
Yeah.
but we've all come from extremely different backgrounds, and we're all here sitting on the same couch talking about the same thing. So anybody can do this from any background, right?
From anywhere. And you
Yeah.
can come from anywhere, right? Like, I think if anyone's watching this, say they have a cell phone and they're living in their car right now and they're watching this, it is possible to get out of your car and to make something in your life. Like, and I'm just a testament to that.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yep, absolutely.
Like, so if you're in your car, like, it's possible.
Yeah. If you're in your car, message Paulie.
Message me.
Get out of the
Yeah,
car.
message me.
He'll help you get out of the car. So many people have a problem being assertive because they feel they're going to appear selfish or angry or inconsiderate to others, but that isn't true. If you're probably being assertive, it's a very empowering, confident place to be. Being assertive is simply standing up for yourself and putting your feelings out there honestly with confidence. It shows in your body language, it shows in your voice fluctuation, and learning how to express your feelings and your anger and learning how to say no is an important part of being assertive. How many times have you guys been with people that have I know when I was going through a lot of anxiety and depression, for instance, there was people that knew how to take advantage of that because they knew I wouldn't say no.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'd want to help. But now I sort of try to put myself, say, okay, have I gotten everything done that I need to do where I really can enjoy helping this person?
Yeah.
Because that's another form too. If you're not standing up for yourself, people will take advantage and pull you in any different direction.
I think it's brave to make safety boundaries. Yeah, I think that's a brave thing, so that you don't get taken advantage of and you don't turn into a yes man, right? Like, I think when I first started speaking, I wouldn't turn down a gig. Ever.
Right.
Never turn down a gig. I would say yeah. And I got burnt out, right?
Yeah.
And now I think that, like, because I've spoken so often, that I almost have a power of choice to say, hey, I've spoken a lot right now, I'm going to take 2 weeks off.
Right.
You know, and like that's what I'm doing right now. I'm going to take 2 weeks off and not speak because I feel like I'm burning out a bit, right?
Yeah,
I don't think self-care is selfish. I think it's necessary. And
Absolutely.
maybe that's me being assertive with my recovery.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Well,
think so.
no one knows better than you
Yeah.
what you need at this
Yeah.
moment in time.
I definitely need a break
Yeah.
from speaking, and like I'm honest with that. Like
Sure.
it takes a lot out of you. You've seen me speak. It's
Yeah.
not fun to talk about that stuff, right?
No.
It's a lot, and just being assertive, right? That's all it is. Just saying, okay, I need to take time for Paulie.
Sure.
And not for these people who want to hear speaker. That's great that they want to hear speaker, but like I have to say no, and I think that's a beautiful thing that I have the ability to say no.
Yeah.
Power of choice,
Yeah.
right?
And it's just going to make your speaking engagements when you are moving forward all that much more powerful.
Yeah.
If you're burning out in your speaking, your
Yeah.
heart's not in, your passion's not there.
I spoke 21 times in the last month. So.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. It's a lot. I'm getting tired. I'm tired of speaking, really.
Yeah, well, your voice still sounds good.
Does it?
Yeah, kind of. I thought you'd be gone by now.
Kinda.
Yeah,
Kinda.
Being assertive is making a statement about how you feel. And being assertive, you stand a lot less of a chance of being victimized, manipulated, being made to feel guilty, being used and taken advantage of. A lot of our feelings of anxiety and depression stem from letting ourselves be taken advantage of. Being assertive isn't being mean or nasty, it's simply keeping a calm voice, stating how we feel about certain things. I have a bit of a problem with that, keeping them, like if I'm trying to be assertive, this is where I know that I've done this in the last week. I can somewhat calmly, but it's still a little probably aggressive, that's why I come off a little bit. But I can calmly and kind of express the way that I'm feeling at that moment in time. But if they start back and give me an argument, that I have to work on. I noticed that this week. Because I was in a bit of a dispute this week. And I said, listen, it's not an argument, just do it, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, just be more specific and communicate better. And it was
That reminds me so much of my dad. He always used to say, "Don't go away mad, just go away." Okay, well, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
So
He wasn't assertive.
No, he wasn't
He
assertive.
wasn't assertive. He was aggressive.
Really?
For sure, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. I've had to learn a lot of this assertiveness, like, later in life. I didn't learn it early in life at all.
Right.
So.
You seem to be doing a pretty good job of it, though.
I think just because I work hard on it.
Yeah.
It's one of those practice things, right? It's like being kind. Don't be a dick to people.
Yeah.
That's a practice. I used to be miserable to everyone.
I know. And you can program yourself to be 100%. A complete kind of
dick.
Yeah, you can walk down the street. I mean,
I still let anyone in, right?
Yeah.
If you have that wall up of being a dick, then no one can hurt you.
Yeah.
Like, I get that.
Right.
But at the same time, no one can love you.
Right.
Right? And I think that love is way more powerful than hurt.
Yeah.
Way more. I think love's all, right? I think love's all you need.
Yeah. No, I agree with you too, man. I think that the way that we walk, I see that, and I've done that too, walking down the street where you kind of close yourself off to people around you. But then when you use that, the one phrase that you said is life is not happening to you, it's happening for you.
Yeah.
As soon as you start thinking things that way, then
your life changes.
Like, well, this person coming towards me is either someone that I can learn from or someone that I can teach something to.
I don't think I lose anymore with people. Like, I either win or I learn.
Yeah.
And that's it, right? Like, I don't lose with even like relationships or communication with people. Like, I learn lessons every single time.
Right.
And that's me not saying, well, you're going to abandon me, fuck you, see you later. That's me saying, okay, I accept this. You're obviously not a part of my life. Thank you for the time that you were part of my life.
Yeah, that's a great way to look at it.
Yeah,
because
it helps.
When you think about it, no one's going to be a part of our lives forever. Eventually,
just us.
Yeah, eventually we are going to. Yeah, it's going to be.
I haven't seen any dual caskets, so I don't think anyone's getting in a casket with me.
Right.
And I don't really want another person in a casket with me. You know?
Scott's over here trying to give me some pets. He showed me love too. Yeah.
We do love each other.
We do love each other, absolutely. It's a lot of love. This couch gets a lot of love. Good energy on this couch.
Good energy, yeah.
So if you... Yeah, what's that?
It's easy, guys.
All right. Anyway, if you choose to react in the wrong way, that will, like I have done this week, to be honest, that will create more anxiety and guilt.
What happened to you this week?
It was just a situation at work, and it was just this woman that wasn't communicating properly with me. She was doing things her way, I was doing things my way. I'm a little bit older, a little more experienced. Her way didn't make sense to me. My way makes sense to me. And yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And so I tried to kind of, we got on the same page. We actually sat down and worked it out so that we have a system now. But at first, she felt I lashed out. I felt I was just trying to explain to her there's an issue.
Right.
But then she sort of said that it wasn't a big deal and things should be obvious. And I was like, okay, now you're trying to make me feel like an idiot. And that kind of pushed me a little bit in the wrong direction. But so I didn't feel anxious or guilty. I felt frustrated, but I addressed that. So I guess that was better than I used to do. I could have gone the whole day and just said, fuck you, you know?
That's progress, man.
Yeah, progress, I guess.
And we're not looking for perfection.
No, we're never looking for perfection. Being assertive rather than angry or letting people take advantage of you will create a much more positive outcome. And that is true. I mean, if you suffer from anxiety and depression, a lot of how many times do you get mad at people and then you're frustrated and anxious over that situation like 24 hours later, and it's all something that could have been avoided had you approached it differently.
Right.
Yeah. Good, effective, assertive behavior takes planning. Much like anger, we need to stop and think before we react. So these kind of tie in for me, anger and assertive behavior.
Oh, they definitely do, I think. Like, aggressive is like being angry to me. Like, having an aggressive behavior or like the opposite of assertive is definitely angry.
Yeah.
I mean, or that makes sense to me. I'm not a philosopher.
No, but I think you're more a philosopher than you.
Maybe I am.
Yeah, I think so.
Confucius.
Yeah.
Confucius.
You don't have to go to, like, the majority of the philosophers out there didn't go to school for philosophy.
That's right, yeah, not at all. Maybe 1 month for child and youth care at Fanshawe College.
And you're a philosopher.
Yeah, I'm a philosopher of Fanshawe.
There you go. We can control so much of our anger and anxiety and our mood swings and our stress if we just stepped back, took a deep breath, and paused to think before we react. What outcome do you really want? What do you need? When someone asks us to do something that we really don't want to do, it's okay to say no. Better than pushing ourselves and feeling resentful towards these people. You said no? right? And how do you feel about it? You said you feel okay with it.
I do feel okay with it, but it takes time. Like, I remember the first time turning down a speaking gig, I thought, what did I do? I just ruined my career.
Yeah.
But I think not every opportunity is for me.
Right.
You know, and I'm okay with that. That not every single speaking gig is for me.
In that moment,
I'm okay with that.
do you follow your gut? Like, is it your gut instinct that
Yeah.
tells you, okay, I'm not really feeling it, I probably shouldn't do this?
I think, like, because I'm, like, intuitive, like, and I have been intuitive kind of my whole life, like, to some extent, that if it just doesn't feel right, I'm not going to do it.
Right.
You know, I used to just say, screw that intuition, I'm just going to do it anyways, and those events are probably the worst events that I've done, right? And that's no fault of the people who's putting on the events, just that maybe I wasn't in the headspace to do that, or I wasn't prepared enough to do that, and I think I always try to prepare enough to speak.
Right.
You know, even on Sundays, I try to prepare enough
Absolutely.
to do this, right?
Yeah, sure. Sundays are like, honestly, even though this is kind of the day that I take off, this is the day where I end up sort of doing the most work, but it's good, positive work. It forces us, and we stay committed to this, and hopefully other people are benefiting.
And what a start to a week.
Yeah.
You know, like we get a clean slate every Sunday. We get to go through the stuff, and then Monday, that cycle starts again.
It's like it's a good therapy session, really, at the end of the week.
It is.
And every week. So this is the one where we talked about, we're at the point where we talked about saying no, and all you need to say is, I'm sorry, I can't. This I had a tough time with.
That's a tough one.
Because they're saying, okay, when someone asks you, hey, I want to do this, will you come with me? All you have to say is, I'm sorry, I can't. I always feel the need to elaborate and give the reason why.
Yeah, an explanation.
An explanation. But we don't really owe anyone an explanation.
No.
We can just, if we did, you know, since when do we have to make up excuses? And half the time, I know when people are giving me bullshit.
Right.
Like,
most of the time I'm like, I got stuff going on. And really, I just want to stay home by myself and do my own thing.
Wouldn't it be nice if we could be honest about that, though?
It would be.
I mean,
maybe that's what I'll start saying. I'm sitting in my underwear. You don't want to hang out with me.
Yeah. Well, why not?
Come over.
Yeah. Maybe we'll try that.
I think I'm going to try. Look, you know, I'd love to help you, but right now, I need my own time and I need my own space. I'm just not in a social.
You don't have to say but. You just
right,
say,
I did already.
Just say, I need my space.
I need my space.
I'm Shawn Evans. I need my space.
That's absolutely. People that know me well know that anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's you're right. See, like I still am elaborating on that.
Yeah. Because you want to explain it. Because
you do. You
don't want to feel guilty, right? You don't want to say, "Oh, I'd love to go out with you," and if I don't go with you, I'm going to feel guilty.
Right.
But you don't have to feel guilty for not going out with that person.
No.
Right? You have your life.
Right. Right. You're absolutely right. And I still kind of struggle with that one. I can say no to people, and I can kind of do my own thing and get my shit done. But it's still always like, okay, well, why can't I do that? Do I really have a valid reason, or is this person being really nice, inviting me out there? Right. Do I want to spend that time there?
Right. And
time is still something you can't get back, right? Valuable. So, yeah, so you want to make sure you're not being sucked in by people that are just going to abuse it.
Yeah, time is valuable, and we only get a certain amount of time on this planet.
Yeah.
Right?
Have you been sucked in? I know you've probably been sucked in by people that have taken advantage of your time.
Yeah.
A few times? So, don't go on. So this is what I just did. Don't go on explaining ourselves about why we can't or over-apologize. A lot of the time we want to say, I'm sorry, I can't do it, but then we feel like we owe people something and feel the need to give an explanation. We don't owe anybody that. Simply say, I'm sorry, I can't. It can be very difficult to do when dealing with relatives or close friends or people that we care about. We don't want to disappoint them. So you said guilt, and it is about guilt, but it's also about disappointing people.
Yeah. I'd rather someone be mad at me than be disappointed at me.
Yeah.
Any day of the week, I'd rather someone be pissed at me than be disappointed at me.
The worst lines from your parents are, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. Yeah, I know.
Like
immediately your head goes like that. Cry yourself to sleep at night.
Yeah, going to bed with no dinner, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So we have a hard time saying no, and being assertive is being able to say no without explaining why we're saying no. Keep it to 1 or 2 sentences. I'm sorry, I can't. I'm not going to be around. Something like that. But even then, like if you are going to be around, why not just stop it? I'm sorry, I can't.
Right.
Just leave it.
Because if you say, hey, I'm not going to be around, and then you have to go on with that for a long time. You can't post on Facebook because you weren't around, right?
Yeah.
I'm not around. You can't text anyone that they're around right? And then you have to live almost in a lie
Mm-hmm.
because you said, "Hey, I can't come out," and you're just sitting at home or you're with your friends, right? Or you can't do anything because you made this person say, "Hey, I can't go out. I'm busy."
Right. But I even feel like that's kind of a lie when they say, "I'm sorry, I can't." Like physically, I can.
The ability.
I have the ability, but they're like can or won't. You know, when people say that, I'm like, that's a tough one.
Yeah, that's a tough call there.
I won't.
They're getting deep.
Exactly.
Like, don't ask me that deep a question.
Yeah.
I can't.
I'm sorry, I can't. But anyway, according to Lucinda Bassett in the Midwest Center, we are supposed to just do 1 or 2 sentences. I'm sorry, I can't, and leave it at that.
And don't say but.
And don't say
Yeah,
but.
there we go.
That's a tough one. Yep, I'm sorry, I can't. But maybe next week.
Yeah.
I do that too.
But maybe another time.
But that's not bad. Maybe another time, though. Maybe another time is kind of a sweet way of ending it.
So natural.
Yeah, maybe another time.
Yeah.
I think that would still be okay, though. Do you think
without putting but in there?
Right, let's take but away.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I can't. Maybe another time.
Another time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then it's almost like you don't have to defend yourself. You don't have to explain yourself.
That's a good one. I like that. I'm gonna break that on my wall.
Yeah, do
anytime someone wants something, and I'm just like, sorry, I can't. Maybe another time. Click.
Click.
Or text, whatever. Text is more common these days. If we go on and on giving excuses, we'll probably start to feel guilty, like you said, and end up saying yes.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Right?
For sure.
For sure. We give the other person the advantage when we don't stand up for ourselves. So I guess if you think of it that way, you'll want to just say, okay, this person could potentially take advantage of the situation. I really don't want to.
Or if you've been taken advantage of in so many situations.
Yeah.
And don't want to say yes, right? Because you don't want to be taken advantage of, but they pressure you almost, and so you have to say yes, and you almost know, hey, I'm going to be taken advantage of again.
Right.
And then it's a shocker when you're not taken advantage of.
Yeah.
Like just a complete throws you for a loop because you're almost prepared to get screwed over.
Right. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But that's a pessimistic way of looking at life, really.
It kind of is, but
empty.
it is glass half empty. We want to take the glass half full approach.
The glass is refillable.
That's true.
Fill that thing right to the top.
It's Paulie's outlook. This is Paulie's
Philosopher Paulie.
Philosopher Paulie, exactly. If you want any more quotes from Paulie, feel free to message him.
Tons of quotes. Tons of quotes. The broken clock's right twice a day.
I like that. That's a good one.
Good one. I keep everything positive.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to let people know what's bothering you. Don't be afraid to speak from your heart. That one I'm pretty good at most of the time. I still don't like letting certain people down.
Dangerous, or not dangerous, it's risky, right? It's super risky to say what's on your heart to someone important to you, right?
Right.
What you say to them matters.
Absolutely.
Like it matters, and someone else, it doesn't really fucking matter.
Right.
Right? But if you talk from your heart, you give from your heart to someone that's important to you, they're going to feel that.
Yeah.
You know?
I hear you. Tell someone if they've offended you or if you simply feel bad. It's also okay to ask for attention if you need it. This one I've never really been good at. Like, tell your partner if you need to feel loved.
I can see that in like a relationship.
Maybe.
I totally can, but
I don't know. Maybe I could. But
I don't know if I've ever done that in a friendship, though.
No, I think that's more aimed at and geared at relationships. But when we state how we feel, we need to be careful not to react to the other person's response as well, which is where I fucked up.
Yeah.
It isn't about blaming them. It's still about us and using I messages. Always think about the solution. Don't amplify the problem. Also, what I've done this past week. When you learn to be assertive, you'll develop a whole new level of confidence where you can approach anyone about anything. That was cool to read.
Yeah.
Because then it's just, you feel like the man that you're made to be, or a woman that you are made to be, or however you identify, when you can actually be okay and be confident and approach any problem anyway.
Right. That's power.
That is
That's
absolute power. That
right?
is ultimate power. For sure.
And not giving a shit what other people think about you.
Yep.
Or what you have to say, right?
That's a huge one too. Yeah.
I would say, like, even when I speak, even if I was a shitty speaker, they're gonna go and talk about me.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But, they're still gonna talk about mental health, even if I was a terrible speaker, right? And that's all it is. Just keep that conversation going.
Absolutely. No, you're absolutely right, man. I like that that outlook. And I'm with you, because when I did all my speaking in the fall, and I was up on that stage, there was times when I'd be at a certain school and I definitely was not feeling it.
Yeah.
And I remember I'd be sitting with Tony, and Tony's my manager for anyone watching, and Tony would say, sometimes those are the best shows ever. And all it took was him saying, like, sometimes when I feel like shit before I go on, I end up having the best result.
Yeah.
putting that in my mind actually made me able to do. Just thinking, okay, well, I feel like shit right now, but maybe I'll have my best show ever because of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're absolutely drained, like, and you need a break, your body will tell you.
I thank God that I have enough self-awareness to say, hey, I need to not speak for a few days, not speak for a few weeks, right? That's good self-awareness, because before I wouldn't be assertive with myself, right?
Right.
I'd say, Paul, you need to, like, and I'm not saying I'm going to do jack shit for 2 weeks, but I'm not going to go to Thunder Bay, North Bay, to all these places to go and speak, and like, cause that's draining. It's emotionally draining and mentally draining, right? So I just want to, like, maybe swing with golf clubs.
Yeah.
Maybe throw the rod in the water.
Yeah.
Like, just do me for a little bit, and I think I deserve that. I think we all deserve that.
Yeah.
Just be us, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's self-care. Again, self-care isn't selfish; it's necessary.
It is necessary, and it makes people want to be around you more. I mean, when you're taking care of yourself and you're sort of elevated to the extent where you feel great, everyone around you is going to benefit from that. If people, people are draining you and pulling you in one direction and the other, and you're just kind of taking up space.
Right.
Who really wants you around anyway?
Not me.
No, I don't even want to be. I don't even want to be around me at that point. But anyways, as we were saying, you can ask for things, you can go after things, you can fit in anywhere, you can feel comfortable about who you are. Sometimes being assertive may not feel like you're being strong. It may just mean being open and honest, and if you're feeling insecure at that moment in time, allowing yourself to be vulnerable. Like showing someone you need attention and asking for what you need.
I think being vulnerable is the strongest thing anyone could do.
100%.
That's kind of a paradox, right? Being vulnerable, being like strength. But I think being vulnerable probably has got all of us on this couch, right?
Yeah.
All of us has got into recovery from being vulnerable.
Yeah.
Like, and how strong are we for doing this, right? I think that we're unbelievably strong for doing this.
I do too.
Yeah.
I agree with you, for sure.
And that's just, people like us don't get vulnerable. Our society doesn't think that guys like us get vulnerable. And
we're not allowed to be.
We're
not.
We're here to give you permission.
That's what this is all about. Is giving people permission to just do this shit, man.
Yeah, you cry.
Sure, I agree 100%. So sometimes you can fit in anywhere who you are. Sometimes being assertive may not feel like you're being strong. This is right here. It may just mean being open and I said that already. Like showing someone, okay, so just like anger, if you're going to be assertive, you need to think about what you want. What do you want to accomplish? Think about the end result that you're trying to achieve. So this can apply to anything. I mean, I can think of so many situations right now going through my mind, and learning to be, as we've talked about here, like it is going to take time. It is going to take practice, a lifetime of practice, and
I think in some aspects you got to pick your battles.
Yes,
you can't be opinionated on every single thing. Like, we got to pick our battles, but at the same time, when we stand up for ourselves, we're brave.
Yeah.
You know, if we can do that without aggression, then we're assertive.
Yeah. Well, it's going to do a few things. I mean, it's going to help with your self-esteem and self-confidence when you realize you can stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
And it's going to show people they can't take advantage of you anymore.
Yeah.
And that's really empowering in itself.
For sure will be,
So there will be situations, the more you do it, the more comfortable you get with it. There will be situations when you're angry, when you want to use your assertive behavior because it's going to be so much more effective. When that happens, use the situation as a practice opportunity. So anytime, this is what I should have fucking done last week, is used the situation and thought, okay, here's a practice opportunity. Instead, I let my emotions, my mood, from being hungry, from being tired, and just being hot, it's a hot day, and I let that all get in the way, and I didn't react the way I reacted. I didn't respond. Watch the tone of your voice, speak in I messages, be more relaxed, think about the end result, and the outcome will be much better for you.
I have a tough time with the tone stuff because I'm a loud person.
Yeah. I think as soon as you're allowed to kind of be your own voice, people will know.
Yeah.
So as soon as you escalate it to that next step and that next tone, where you just kind of, people can feel it and sense it. Like, even if I'm just trying to break up an argument, I'll sometimes raise my voice, and it comes off as being a little more abrasive than I intend it to be.
Right. Not aggressive, right? It's not.
No, I don't think it's aggressive. I think people would, for example, some people might say it's lashing out, but it's really, I don't feel like I'm doing anything more than trying to put an end to a pointless conversation.
Right. Yeah.
Would you rather be
right, or would you rather be at peace, right? I'd rather be at peace than be right.
Absolutely, you know, like I'm going to say how I feel, and if you keep having a problem with that, I say, look, I just said how I feel, that's it.
Yeah. Accept it or don't.
Yeah, accept it or don't. So maybe in a way I was being kind of assertive, but sometimes it gets taken as aggression.
Oh yeah, for sure.
If I stopped and probably said it a little more slowly and breathed and tried to keep a calm, collective voice, it might come off a little bit better. But you okay over there, buddy?
No, I'm good.
I want to make sure that I always, for people, what's that?
I'm burnt.
You're burnt?
Yeah.
I can see you sweating there. I'm trying to make sure that the temperature is okay. It takes a little while to cool down. Sorry, buddy.
It's okay.
Yeah, speaking iMessages. So we're people pleasers. If you have anxiety and depression, you're probably a people pleaser. But people will have a lot more respect for you when you stand up for yourself.
That's true, man. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
There's people that are people pleasers. Like, if I look back at my past at all.
Yeah.
Suffer anxiety and stuff, too.
Do you know why that is?
No.
Okay.
Approval, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Seeking approval.
It's wanting to be liked by everyone, not accepting the fact that there is usually, and I don't know if it was Lucinda that said this,
You
or
don't want confrontation, or like
you don't want confrontation, and it's just you want to be liked and accepted by people.
Validated almost. You just want to be validated by someone else in your social circle or wherever.
Yeah.
And when people with anxiety and depression don't feel validated, then they feel worse, right? Then they get more depressed or more anxious. Oh, they don't like me.
Right.
Like, oh, I'm going to get, like, that's for me. I was a people pleaser forever, and if I knew that someone didn't like me, I would hold on to that for days.
And you often try to, I remember being younger and having this problem too. If people were fucking dicks, I'd try harder with them.
Yeah.
I'd try harder with the people that didn't like me to get them to like me.
Yeah, 100%.
And then
you don't have to work on the ones that like you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
they already like you.
Sure. So it's just like you're putting in your time trying to sell yourself.
Yeah, punching in and punching out.
Yeah, but then, I mean, even recently I heard that 20% of people are going to like you.
Yeah.
20% of people are not going to like you no matter what you do. So you have to accept that. You're not going to be liked by everyone. And then 60% could just go either way. They're kind of floating around on the fence.
That's a large pool.
Yeah, that is a large pool.
That's a large pool. 60% is a large pool.
Yeah, so but if they could go either way, 60% of people could either like you or not like you. Why not just be yourself?
Yeah.
And let them decide if they like you or they don't. If they don't, fine. Nice to see you for 5 seconds. I'll spend time with the person that does want to get to know me.
That's exactly it.
Right?
I don't have time for people now in my life that don't want to be in my life. I only have time for people in my life that want to be in my life.
Sure.
That's it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I think that's self-respect, though. Really.
How many times, let's just take a breather here. How many times, because I know I did this a lot, did you chase after the girl that was like the pretty bitch, and you tried everything, so you even changed who you were for a bit to try to...
Yeah. I've dyed my hair.
Yeah.
I never got a tattoo, but I've dyed my hair for a girl for sure.
What color did you dye it?
Bleach blonde.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it like an M&M look?
Well, it was more like highlights, right? Because I had long kind of surfy hair, right? So it looked alright, but it just wasn't really me.
Yeah.
But I did it because I wanted someone else's validation, right?
Right.
Superficial looks where, like...
Yeah.
I don't think looks are anything. Like, I think it's way beyond superficial looks.
Absolutely.
Right? Absolutely. Are the core.
Yeah. I mean, you can talk to the most attractive person in the room, and if they don't have that...
If they have the personality of a stick, I don't want to be around them, really.
Right? Absolutely.
That's just being honest. That's being assertive, right?
No, I know. If they're a nice, genuine person, they've got a good heart, you'll sense that. And then that just amplifies the attraction.
I think good people pick up on good people, though, right?
Yeah.
Like, and bad people pick up on bad people.
I think so, too. And I think that comes back to the energy. Because I used to hang out with some people that were just like me, and I realized I was a pretty big piece of shit. Yeah, so...
I bet if I was to go back to some of the bars, and I haven't drank in almost 4 years, and I bet if I was to go back to some of the bars that I was drinking at, that they'd still be talking about the same shit years later. Like, that nothing at all has changed.
Absolutely. Just be older, maybe have more kids.
Talking about, like, Barack Obama getting in the White House, probably, right? It's gone. I bet they're still talking about it, though. I bet they really are. Like, that's what...
Oh, man.
I hung out with some weird guys apparently at the bar.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess you did. People will always take advantage of passive people. And effective assertive behavior is a skill that has to be learned and practiced regularly. We mentioned that a few times. Pick a good mentor. This is key. Yeah. So pick someone who's really good at the art of effective assertive communication and emulate them. And again, we've said this before, always practice being less affected and more effective. Yeah. So in any situation that you walk into, you should definitely practice say, how can I be less affected and more effective in this situation?
A great mentor for that would be Tony. Like for me, would be Tony Robbins. He's very effective in his language.
Yeah.
And because he's really studied how to communicate, like he studied communications,
NLP, all that.
so he can like captivate an audience of 10,000 people just by the tone of his voice, right? And
Right.
just by, it's not even validation to these people. They're just normal people at a conference, and he can make them all feel like they're so special.
Absolutely.
They're individuals, right? Like, he's worked hard on that. So, like, Tony's worked real hard.
Well, that's what he does
Yeah.
for every day. Like,
Yeah.
you know, every day that every minute he's awake,
Yeah.
basically, is about personal development.
Personal development, yeah.
And helping others and being the best that he can be, and learning and learning and learning.
I'm a huge fan.
So am I.
I'm a big
Tony
so
fan.
jealous that you got to see him. So jealous that you got to see him.
Dude, he has these workshops that go on.
Big with Destiny, I want to go to.
Yeah,
So,
totally.
My buddies are good friends with him, right?
But Tony Robbins?
Yeah. He's like best buds. He goes on vacation with him and his wife.
That's amazing.
With
man.
Curl,
So,
Bonnie Curl.
I have my card in finally, so next time he's in New York or whatever,
Yeah.
we'll go.
He's going,
100%.
that's amazing. He's in next month.
Is he?
Well, this month is July now.
Okay.
Happy Canada Day.
Happy Canada Day. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, we'll go.
Yeah, we'll check on tickets and see if we can do it, but that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in security for him. It's so funny.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So I want to give you guys a few examples here because we talked about assertive behavior. Let's give some examples. This is writer of the Midwest Center book with Lucinda Bassett. Probably copyrighted, so I'm going to make sure that they get there.
Yeah. Lucinda, thank you.
Thank you.
Rockstar.
Rockstar. Paulie's obviously switched his diet since we did
That nutrition week worked about 6 days.
6 days, eh? 6 minutes?
6
hours.
6 hours.
Six hours.
Let's get real. 6
All right,
hours.
6 hours.
Until your next meal.
I didn't have a
Till the
rock
next
start until
morning.
the next morning.
That a boy. Well,
It's
if
like
it's
8 o'clock at night. You're not going to sleep tonight.
I don't sleep anyways.
Fair enough.
yeah,
Fair enough. It is what it is.
Paulie's got his system. It's working for him.
Yeah,
you know,
man.
yeah.
Works.
So far, these 4-hour night sleeps are working out for me, but
Oh, you're able to speak more intelligently than most people in 4 hours a night of sleep, for sure. Okay, so assertive rights. When someone close to you needs a favor, it is selfish of you to put your own needs first. Is that true or false? That is false. You should take care of yourself first. If possible, you will feel more like giving to others.
I would have put their needs first.
Yeah, I know. And it's hard. It's hard at first because you develop
I
this.
feel like
it's hard in recovery too, because I think in early recovery, and we get the grasp that we can stay sober, or that we can live, a substance-free life, that we want to go and save everyone then, right? So then
True.
we put everyone else's needs above our own, and then we ruin our. Like I've seen tons of guys go back out because they were so wrapped up in helping someone else that they didn't take care of their own needs, and
Right.
boom, they're out. And so, like, I think that's you got to look after yourself first. Right?
Sure. Yeah.
Like, especially maybe when you're dealing with people with anxiety and depression, that if you live with anxiety and depression, you can't let someone else's anxiety and depression affect yours,
Mhm.
right? You have to take care of yours first, or you're
Very
not in that
true.
position to help them, right?
Not at all. Not at all.
I think I find that with a lot of people again that are like people pleasers or whatever. They go and get like when they're in a relationship or like how do I say this? They get their self-esteem and like feel good when they're helping somebody.
Yeah.
Right.
You know
That's a
what I
little
mean?
bit of codependence, though. Like,
It is. It's a
Yeah.
codependence because like you should be. You know that whole saying like you can't love somebody unless you love
Until you
yourself,
love yourself,
right? And like
Yeah.
I never really understood that.
Yeah.
I kind of understood it, or I thought I did a few years ago, but like now I really get it.
Yeah.
You know,
You need to love yourself.
It's about
We're
everything,
worthy
though.
about
It's
loving
like,
ourselves,
yeah.
right?
Mhm. Yeah, both very good points.
Mm.
I think that in a relationship, when that happens,
you
it's
put all your time and effort into them and making sure they're happy, and that makes you happy.
yeah,
But then when it's gone,
Right.
fucked right up.
yeah, absolutely. But that's the thing is if you depend on that, and you need especially if you need recognition and credit for it. Like I know a lot of people that do things,
Yeah.
and they do things, and it looks nice, but they're waiting for that credit, and they want that build up. Like.
Yeah.
Just fucking love yourself and do for somebody if you want to do something without expecting anything in return.
Yeah.
Here's another quote. I got another quote.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Paul, he's going into his quote bank.
Here's a new quote. Here's an amazing thing about life. Do something for someone that can never pay you back.
Absolutely.
And
That's
I
a
think
good one.
that's passion, right? Like
Yeah.
that's life.
Yeah,
Like, if
for
you can
sure.
do something for a person that can never ever pay you back,
Yeah.
like that's being human.
Yeah, and it does make you feel good. Indirectly, you
Yeah.
will feel
Yeah,
good
for sure.
I'm
I'm gonna make a quote book. Steal everyone else's quotes and put in one book.
Yeah, just
Put a little twist on it.
rephrase it with Paulie's
One of my
quotes.
quotes.
Yeah,
I like that.
for sure.
I remember when I was in self-liberation rehab school.
Yeah.
And like
Is that what it's called? Self-liberation?
That's what I like to call it.
Okay,
I like
all
that.
right.
I like
Yeah.
that a lot. I like
That's
that.
my buddy Omar said that.
Right on.
Stop calling it rehab. It's not rehab.
It's self-liberation.
Self-liberation.
That's
I
awesome.
like that a lot.
That is
I like
cool.
that.
Yeah, he can't stand the whole whatever.
The labels that are put on shit?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
just like drug and stuff. But anyways, I was in self-liberation, and we were talking, and like the relationship I was in before, I'd always say like, oh, she's such a nice person. She was out of her way and this and that. And my counselor was like, but does she do it just to do it, or does she do it and want people to know about it? And
Right.
Well, she wants people to know about it. He goes, that's not a nice person.
Yeah.
Like, if somebody's like, if a turtle's crossing the road, like, would she stop and pick it up and help it over and just like do that and just walk away go to business, or would she tell all her friends that she didn't post on Facebook?
Right.
She posts on Facebook.
Right.
Like,
Right.
it's the wrong.
Yeah.
It's the wrong kind
Yeah.
of.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Fair enough.
Passionate.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead. So let's go on to the other suggestions here. Assertive right. So you should never argue your opinion. You'll make others think you are pushy and argumentative. Besides, they are probably right anyway. That is wrong. You have every right to voice your opinion, and it is just as valuable as anyone else's. People will respect you more for having an opinion.
Yeah.
But that isn't to say that like we can still go overboard with opinions.
You don't need an opinion on every single thing. Right?
No, this is where picking and
Yeah.
choosing your battles
Yeah,
comes
pick
into
your
play.
battles for sure. If you're passionate about it,
And you know about it,
and
you're knowledgeable.
and you're knowledgeable, even wait a little bit. And if it still persists, or if it's still
It's still irking yet?
then say it.
Right.
Right? But like if it's not going to add value to a conversation or add value to a relationship, just
Yeah, let it go.
Let it go.
Yeah, and that's one of those things about like letting go in general, but not having to be right all the time. Like if you're in an argument, it can happen online as well, back and forth. If you're not knowledgeable, like if you're not an expert in that area, and you can't like you said, if you can't give a valuable opinion that is going to somehow make the conversation more positive, then what is the point?
What's the point?
You're just wasting your time, and everybody else is going to bounce right on it too.
Well, that's like the whole like people want you to do great, but not better than them.
Exactly.
You know, like, and I've realized that those people who want me to do great,
Yeah.
but not better than them, don't belong in my life.
Sure.
And as much as I love their support, and that's wonderful, I want people that it doesn't matter the successes that I get to, or if I ever get to be successful, they're going to support me no matter what.
Well,
But that's
you're already successful.
That's the
by the way.
definition of a true
Yeah.
friend, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. And
Yeah.
I have very few of them, but
Sorry, cut it in the wrong-
I'd rather
that's-
have, yeah, that's exactly it. I'd rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies.
Yeah.
Right? There's not a quote, bro.
He's on fire. He's on
105.
fire. You should start putting these on your stickers.
I should.
Yeah.
That's exactly.
T-shirts.
Yeah.
T-shirts, stickers.
Swag.
Uh-oh, we need a marketing person.
Absolutely.
Person.
Absolutely.
www.15.com. Marketing.
You should try. You should try. We're getting into an entrepreneurial conversation. You should try hard to never make a mistake. No one is perfect. Mistakes are part of life. Accept them and go on. Try to learn from them. That's fair enough. I mean, as you said, you don't want to live a perfect life. Mistakes are part of life.
That was hard. That was hard for me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The perfectionism stuff?
Yeah, just like making mistakes, screwed up, and feeling like a failure.
Right. And in your career as a bodybuilder too, though, perfectionism was what you were judged on.
Yeah.
So like that
You're always judged. You're walking around. Like,
exactly.
That would give
I
you
wore
a
my
complex,
career on my
right?
back.
Yeah.
That would give you a complex that like every single thing's got to be perfect. Like where you're
Everyone's
parked,
looking at you.
Where, yeah, where like but other avenues of life, right? Like
Yeah.
that's,
Diet,
that's
nutrition
separate.
has
Your
to be
diet,
perfect.
your like your routine in the morning has to be perfect, and if it's not, then like I don't know. I've never been a bodybuilder, but like.
right?
If you don't do that, then do you feel guilty about yourself, or do you feel guilty for not being like that part of the routine, or you didn't do well in that, or you got second place or third place and not first place? Do you beat yourself up for that then?
Well, yeah. That's
And then-
a whole other-
yeah,
that's
the first time that I did the nationals, and like I won the Ontario's heavyweights and overalls, so I won level 1, level 2, level 3 heavyweights and overalls,
Right.
hands down. And then the nationals, I think, was 11 weeks later, so I had to dive for 11 weeks. It was horrible. But I went into it, and I was like 280 pounds. It just looked amazing. Thought I was going to do well. Walked in it, didn't even get called out. Looked at.
Really?
And so how did that make you feel?
I was.
You know what I mean? Like, because
that's where it started.
That's where it starts, right? Because you want to feel perfect.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Because that was before super heavyweight class. So it was heavyweights, and there was probably like 23 people on stage, and I was like over on the end. And they already had their minds made up because it was the top, 5-10 guys that had been competing for a while. Mm-hmm. They called them out, didn't even look at us. And I remember after prejudging, that's the first time I ever got a taste of politics and stuff. Mm-hmm. And we went out to the van, and it was my mom, my dad, myself, that ex-friend of mine, and I just sat in the van bawling my eyes out. Yeah. And what the hell just happened?
Wow.
And then that's where other stuff happened. I started cheating on my diets all the time from then on. Yeah. And I would just do more drugs to compensate for it, like clenbuterol and T3. But before that, I never ever cheated on my diet. I weighed everything, it was perfect because you had to be perfect.
Yeah. Right.
But when I didn't understand that, that's where a lot of my stuff
that's
sort of like a failure. I'm a failure,
right? Yeah. Because you're all about perfectionism, right?
What went wrong? I did everything possible in my power to be perfect.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Does that affect you then? Would that be what one of your toughest things is try to not be a perfectionist about your anxiety and your stuff?
Well, I think now that's where, if I look back at everything in my life, that one moment in time now is where. Everything leading up to there was it just kind of fell into my lap. I did everything perfect. I went heavyweights for worlds. Everything in my life seemed to be going well. And then at that moment, things started to change, right?
Right.
And then from then on, that's where I don't know. Maybe I have commitment issues with following through because I'm going to fail. I always think I'm going to fail. That's the point.
100%. That gives you anxiety.
So it's self-sabotage.
Yeah,
right?
Sure. Wow.
Do you realize now from some of the audio that we're doing that there's no such thing as failure? Are you starting to believe that now? Or a little bit more?
Just because you fail doesn't make it a failure.
No.
I think every time I've failed, I've learned something.
Yeah.
And I might have felt like a failure, but I look back now, maybe hindsight's 20/20, but you look back and say, thanks, I learned that lesson. Right?
Yeah,
Even if it was tough and painful, right?
It was for a purpose.
For a purpose, a bigger purpose.
Yeah, you have to look at the silver lining of everything, right?
And this is a good one too. If you can't be there for someone or you want to get out of doing something, you should always give them an explanation of why you don't want to do it, as we were talking about. In most cases, you don't owe anyone an explanation for your decision. A simple "no, I can't" is sufficient, and we're learning that, right?
We're learning that.
I'm going to start trying that. It is hard. No, I can't. It just feels
explanation this is why.
I know. So wrong. You should not. The next one. You should not protest if you feel you have been treated unfairly. Others will think poorly of you. That is wrong. You should stand up for yourself if you think you're being taken advantage of. If you don't, who else will?
Yeah.
And that's true.
Yeah.
Even in family.
We got to be our own advocate.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, for sure. You think people might stand up for you. Yeah, and they're not. It's just
sometimes the people that are going to stand up for you don't stand up, and then I've had this happen where someone that you never would have expected in the world to stand up for you just has your back and will go to battle for you. That's a real cool feeling.
Yeah. Wow, you really shocked me.
Yeah, you really got my back. Right?
Yeah.
These people, I always think that about going through the court system. My family wouldn't come to court, but my counselors would. Right, that shows me who's important in my life.
Right,
my counselors are.
But that's where you look at behaviors, right?
Yeah.
Everybody can say one thing to your face, but it's the behaviors of people.
Right, actions.
Yeah, actions speak louder than words. That definitely happened to me this summer too. Or I don't know, it's last summer now, but with my group of friends, my closest friends, who I thought would always stand up for me and have my back and do anything for me, especially this one who'd been through everything with me. Mm-hmm. They're the ones that threw me under the bus. And I don't want to get involved, to whatever. And then the one guy that was kind of floating around in the background that I've been friends with but never really close with, he was the one that was there through me for thick and thin, and now we have this crazy intense relationship.
That's
my brother.
That's super cool.
Yeah, he's my brother.
That's very cool.
I love stories.
He's the one that got me back into faith.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Muslim faith and Islam and all that stuff. Yeah,
that's super cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Huh. That's amazing. It really is. Yeah, for sure. That's the first time you brought that up on the show. So
that's being assertive.
Absolutely.
That's right there, being assertive.
Absolutely. You should not express your anger to people who offend you. They will think you aren't the nice person they thought you were. That's wrong. You have the right to express your anger. These people will think twice before offending you again. And you let them know you won't stand for it.
Every one of these, I was like,
yeah, I know.
No,
yeah, wrong, no,
wrong.
Yeah. For sure. Well, the thing is, it's difficult. It's really hard for people that don't want to.
True, because then you think, well, they're not going to like me.
How are you free in a world where you're just trying to avoid all of these things so that you don't? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
As soon as you learn how to kind of do all these things in a healthy way, nothing can get to you. You are unstoppable.
Yeah,
It's true.
yeah.
You should make an effort to be friendly and sociable, even when you don't feel like it. It's better to act than to be antisocial. That's also wrong. Everyone isn't friendly and sociable all the time. Sometimes you just don't feel like socializing, and that's fine.
Yeah.
And you can translate that to your speaking events.
Yeah, for sure.
You can translate that to time off the gym. It translates into whatever. You should try to keep it to yourself when you feel anxious or insecure. Others might see it as weakness. And this is what I did for fucking years. Like, just keep it inside.
Yeah,
People might think you're crazy.
Yeah.
I don't want to lose control, blah, blah, blah. Don't let them know.
Yeah.
The right answer to that is, it says right and wrong here, but the more positive response as opposed to the negative response is probably a better way to put it. Everyone feels anxious and insecure at some time. Often it makes you feel better to share your feelings, and it makes others feel closer to you to know that you feel comfortable enough with them to show that side of you. And that's really cool too, because I know that when people open up to me,
that one's, I share my feelings with everybody.
Which one?
I share my feelings with everybody.
You do?
Yeah.
So this is a good one for
Yeah,
you.
so that's the only one that I
Yeah, okay. Well,
then people are like,
that's all right,
back
man.
away.
It's good for you to do that though, because it helps people. You're letting people in. Like it's
Taking
the
a
same
wall
thing
down.
where you're wearing your heart on your sleeve, right?
Well, I do.
And-
That's what makes people take advantage of me.
Right. Maybe. Yeah. I mean, tell it to the. Maybe that should be rephrased to like.
My boundaries there. I got to set
Yeah. Maybe
boundaries.
explain it to people that like are really genuine and aren't gonna. I mean, I know that's hard, easier said than done.
But that's hard. How do you know that though? I think everybody is like me.
Right.
They're like, I'm not going to screw them over. I would never do that to them.
I
So
guess
why
it's
would
just-
they do that to me if they're a friend of mine?
I guess it's just getting. Yeah. I don't know.
That
I mean,
trust thing, you gotta be able to, which is, I mean, for me, I don't trust hardly anyone.
I don't
That's
trust anybody anymore.
my-
Yeah. Well, if you don't trust anyone, why are you sharing your feelings with them?
Well, not anymore.
Yeah, you're
But I
trying
used
to. Yeah. Well,
Big
I mean,
lessons learned these last 2 years. Man.
yeah. Well, we're learning more,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Every week. You should listen to the advice of authority figures and not argue. They probably know what is best. That's also wrong. Just because someone is in a position of authority doesn't make him or her right. You should weigh all the information and learn to trust your own decisions.
So here's an example of that one that where it's said to be like assertive and like it's okay to show your feelings and be like not aggressive but
Right.
whatever.
To explain your stance.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like, I finally had it out with somebody in my life, and they came over to the house, and my friend Omar was there as like the mediator, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
communication's not my forte.
Right. So he was there to help you with that?
Yeah.
Right.
So that person reached out to him.
Yeah.
And like was like, can you sit and talk with us? Because like whatever, try to work it out. So he came over and like he sat and whatever. And
Yeah.
so finally, we're sitting there and we're talking, and like this person has never seen me like get pissed off and like aggressive. And like what had happened had like affected my life so much. I stood up and I smashed the table, right?
Really?
Yeah, I just stood up and I lost it. I smashed the table and went into pieces.
Really?
I think that's one reason why I don't let my anger and like aggressive, because I don't know what I can do, right? It's scary.
You're a big guy, and you can obviously break some things.
Yeah, like one other
Bam,
time.
bam, bam.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously, because one other time that happened in my life, like when I was bouncing, and like the rule of thumb was with the owner of the bar was like I had to keep my hands in my pockets. I wasn't allowed to hit anybody.
Wow. Really?
Right? And then the one time that it happened, like this guy, like I knew him from high school, right?
Yeah.
And like we're going on and on, trying to explain myself to him, and then he finally just poked me in my chest, and he's like, "Fuck you, Milne, and like your family," and I snapped, like two-handed him, and he went through both walls.
Are you serious?
Oh my god.
I only hit him like that far.
Right. Wow.
So anyway, I stood up, smashed, like I hit the table, and like, yeah, no, I didn't. Just fucking pissed me off, smashing it, and I left the room, and Omar was still there, and like when he left, he came up to me afterwards. He goes, he was like shitting his pants. He was crying.
Wow.
He
Really?
was crying. He's like, I've never seen him that mad. He's like, well, this is how much it's affected him, you idiot.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
And so then like that whole conversation was supposed to fix our relationship and whatever. And there you go. Watch people's behaviors, and he became totally more distant. Tried to talk him after that. Never messaged me. I'm like, hey man, what's going on? Like, everything okay? He's like, stop asking me that. Everything's fine. I just don't want to talk to people anymore.
Really?
Okay.
Interesting.
And then it got worse and worse, and then I finally was like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Wrote him past the email, and that was it. That was hard for me to do. Really hard.
Well,
but it proves, right? Behaviors tell all. People
Sure.
talk shit and smoke up your ass about everything.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But then watch your behaviors. Your behaviors tell everything. You know,
And-
same with that.
But also what we're learning, right? Like, is we can't control anyone else or their
No.
behaviors. We can only control ours. And that's
And I'm glad I did that. Like,
Yeah.
and now, like, it was hard, and like even afterwards, I questioned and doubted myself. Like, was I wrong? Like, am I reading too much into this? Like, you know, you self doubt, right?
Yeah.
And then, like, you know, thank God for Omar. Like, he's like, no, you're right. Like, just
chill
go
out.
with it. You're
Yeah.
right. Like, trust me. And like, he always was in the background. He's like,
He seems to be kind of like
oh
a
man,
guardian
like,
angel.
he is, man.
Yeah.
Like, if you believe in the spirit and like higher power, like,
Sure.
he was sent to me for sure. And,
Sure.
but he always would stand in the background. He's like, man, I wanted to tell you for so long that these people are like the devil, like they're just using manipulating. But he's like, I didn't know how to tell it to you because I didn't want it to affect our friendship.
Yeah,
and, like,
it could have been.
and I didn't want to know how to bring up like, you know, Allah and like, you know, Muslim faith and like how, because he's like, I knew you were really spiritual, but he's like, I didn't want you to think I was a terrorist or whatever.
Right.
So finally, because everybody thinks, right, that of Muslims, and they're not at all.
Right.
And so finally, one day in the summer, he's like, man, I just got to throw it out there. He's like, just go with it, right? And I'm like, sure, right? Like, I was at the point in my life where I needed something.
Right.
And he did this little exercise with me, and I couldn't believe it. It was just blew me away the next few days. Like,
well, again, I mean,
everything was answered. Like, it was wild. Yeah.
That's awesome. And like whatever works for, there's no right or wrong when it comes to religion, when it comes to higher power.
No,
whatever
your higher power is, right? It's God of your understanding.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, I think of it as the universe.
Yeah.
You can think of it
I
as...
I have trouble saying God.
Right, I have a bit of trouble with that as
universe.
well.
I think there is something out there.
Yeah.
There's definitely something watching over us.
Oh,
right?
for sure. I believe there's a bigger power.
Oh,
bigger
yeah,
purpose.
huge.
Bigger purpose indeed,
Bigger purpose, yeah.
Energy levels and all that kind of stuff. I've had so
energy,
many situations
for sure.
in my life where, like, you know, especially driving with my sleep apnea issues, like, I should not be here. Like, it's been like probably 20 some odd times. Like, I should be dead, right?
Right.
And how I made it through this, I have no idea. You know, leave it to the higher power.
Absolutely. Well, you're here for a purpose, man.
Yeah.
And I guess on that note, we hope that all of you learned something from this. We hope that you feel that maybe a higher power has brought us to you. But anyway, we appreciate you tuning in. This was the Assertive Behaviour session for the Sex and Suicide Podcast. Presents Soulfire Sundays with Paulie O'Byrne, Scott Milne, and myself, Shawn Evans. If you're on Facebook Live with us, we're going to turn the camera around if you have any questions. Otherwise, you can view us again on YouTube. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.